Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program and Ohio Stoneware.
I'm Jeff Oechslein, and we're cooking up a storm. Joe Luckino's joining us in the Cooking Up a Storm kitchen. Joe, welcome.
Jeff, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Thank you for coming. Not only is Joe here from Cedar One Realty, by the way, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but he brought literally everything here. I didn't have to bring, he even brought your own pots and pans.
Well,
salt and pepper. You don't even think I had salt and pepper.
I didn't want to take anything, I didn't want to leave anything to chance.
Yeah.
You know?
Man. So what are we making today?
So we're going to make a famous dish. It's called the Luckino Hot Pepper recipe dish. We've been making it for probably 20 years after I got out of college. We make it a lot on weekends. We make it on holidays. It's could be a good appetizer. It could be good during your meal. It's good on bread. It's good on pasta. I'm excited for you to try it.
Is it how spicy is it? Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, it all depends on where you're getting your peppers from. I brought some hot peppers for you. So I'd say give it about a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's going to be a little spicy. We need something to wash it down with. Actually, before we're prepping here, you brought some vino.
Yes, I did.
You would like to describe where this is coming from?
So we got
I'll
two
pour the vino.
2 Italian bottles of wine I brought for you. A buddy of mine's an importer from, he's in Pittsburgh, imports from Italy. And these come from little family vineyards in Italy. So I thought I'd bring them this housewarming gift for you.
Thank you very much.
One for you and your wife, and one for you and I.
Thank you. I'm not a big wine guy, but I will give it a try. Here you go.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And
cheers.
Cheers, or you would
Salute.
say salute.
Salute. Yeah.
Or I'd say na zdravia.
Good? You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
For a beer guy.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
When I was we were talking about you were in Italy once. You could go ahead, start prepping.
Yeah.
I'll
start cutting
watch.
these onions.
You'll start cutting onions. But I was in Italy once. We do these trips with the station. The very first trip we went to Italy, and we were in Florence, and they had these carafes of wine. And I'm not a wine guy, like I said, but they kept on refilling the carafes. I didn't notice they were refilling them. I just thought, I didn't want to leave any wine left there. So I kept drinking. Well, later down the road there at the end of the night, I ended up leading a Congo line around the restaurant. And everyone from our trip was I was the train, and everyone was back there. And I was like, oh, that's it. I blew it. I'm never going to be asked on a trip again. But everyone loved it. So.
Well, some of that wine in Italy is the best you're going to get, and it goes down easy.
I was feeling it the next day. Let's put it that way. So you're chopping up onions. What can I do besides sipping on wine?
So you could sip on the wine, but if you can chop the peppers too, and I'm going to show you how to do it because we got to do it right.
And these are frozen peppers.
These are frozen. So these come from my uncle's garden. Okay. And I think making this dish, and for the dish to turn out good, you have to have a good hot pepper source. Okay. And I feel like I probably have the best hot pepper source in the valley. So
you can't get these anywhere.
No. These are homegrown. These are homegrown. So
now, if someone wanted to replicate, I mean, obviously they're not going to go raid your uncle's garden.
Well, you might get shot.
Yeah. So what's the next best thing?
So you could probably go to Kroger's, you go to Walmart, or go to the strip on Pittsburgh, the strip district.
Okay. And what are you looking for? What are the names of these
So you want to get
peppers?
Hungarian hot wax peppers.
Okay, Hungarian. And these are frozen.
These are frozen because they're so good. I don't want to take the chance during the off season. I always keep some in my freezer.
Okay.
So my uncle, both of my uncles have gardens. One's in Stratton, one's in Hammondsville.
Okay.
Right? My uncle Mike Abdallah, my uncle Tom Abdallah.
Okay.
Tom Abdallah's is in Stratton. His garden used to be Sheriff Abdallah, passed away. They shared the same garden. So these peppers have been coming out of this garden for probably 50 years.
Wow.
And they're hot. And then my Uncle Mike has a garden in Hammondsville. It's half the size of a football field. So every year they pick all these peppers. They give us a bunch. I freeze them. I keep them throughout the year.
That's all they're growing in these gardens, of these peppers?
They grow tomatoes. They grow green peppers, garlic, but the peppers are the best.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got to give a shout out to them. They're peppers.
So how do I cut this?
All right, so you want me to do the first one to show you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Give me
because this is serious.
He brought
business.
his own sharp knife thing. It's like a machete here too.
So you want to cut the tip off like that. But you're going to want to leave the rest of the seeds in there because the seeds are the heat.
That gives the heat,
The seeds are the heat. So you just take it down. And now these are partially frozen, so they're easy to cut. Just bring it all the way down like this.
Don't chop your finger off.
You don't want. No one wants to get hurt here.
There you go.
My wife is a nurse though. So if you would chop something, she'll help. And but yeah, so that's good. So then what we're going to do is we'll just put them. You'll do maybe 5 or 6 of them, and then we'll put them in the frying pan.
Okay. Sounds good. So I'll start doing some of these, and you're going to work on some of the onions.
I'll do the onions.
Well, we're going to chop away.
And then once we get all the onions and peppers chopped up, we'll get that. We'll season them up. and then we're going to put them on the fry. We'll put them on the skillet, okay, to start frying up.
Now, you were telling me you have your realty office, right? Or you used to, or do you still have a kitchen?
We have a kitchen. We have a kitchen in our office. So when we had our first office, it was 115 Springdale Avenue in Wintersville.
Okay.
And it was an old house.
Yeah.
So there was a little kitchen in there. And then my dad's barber shop. My dad's been cutting hair since he's been 17. He's 81. Luckino's Barber Den. Okay. So when we were moving our offices to 143 Canton Road, everybody asked two questions. They said, "Is your dad coming?" Because everybody likes my dad. And they said, "Are you going to bring a kitchen?" And I said, "Well," I told my wife, I said, "I got to bring my dad and I got to bring a kitchen." Because everybody liked that kitchen around the office. And now we make my dad cook for us all the time in the kitchen.
So this is a one-stop shop. You could buy a house, get your hair cut, and dinner all at once.
Yeah, and that dinner might have a little hair in it, but it'll still taste good.
Well, it's a little extra seasoning, right?
That's right, that's right.
Okay.
You know,
so we're going to continue to chop away here.
I was the first in my family to go to college.
I was looking to switch careers.
I wanted the highest quality, but most affordable option for a degree.
No matter where you are in life, West Virginia Northern Community College can make your dream of a college degree a reality. With over half of our students being first-generation college students and free tuition for many programs, Northern is the right choice for you.
I can go to college. West Virginia Northern Community College. You belong here.
Okay, so we have our Hungarian peppers chopped up with the onions, and I don't know if we mentioned it or not before, but the seeds are important. Leave the seeds in.
We keep a lot of the seeds in. Probably like 90% of the seeds you want to keep in the bowl, keep in the dish. Yes.
And that's not because we want to grow more Hungarian peppers in our stomachs. It's because of what?
It holds the heat.
It holds the heat.
That's what the heat is. That's
it
what
holds the
is.
heat.
Yes.
So you're going to get this going on the stove, right?
Yes. So we chopped up all the onions. We chopped up all the peppers. We're going to do some salt and pepper right now. We're going to put some olive oil in there.
Yep.
We want a little bit. Be generous. Be generous with the salt and pepper.
Now, you said this is the test for your wife who's over here. We're going to try to get her in here. I may have to fake an injury, but you said if she didn't like this dish, that was the deal breaker for the marriage, right?
It would have been a rough start.
It would have been a rough
start.
start.
Yeah, it would have been a rough
but
start. Yeah.
Thankfully, she loves this dish.
She loved it, yeah.
Okay.
And then I bought the ring shortly thereafter.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
a lot's going around on this dish right here. Did you put the ring inside one of the peppers or anything? Little stuffed pepper?
Usually it's chocolate and wine. In our family, it was the hot pepper dish, you know?
The hot pepper, okay.
So here's the olive oil. I want to add the olive oil in.
But how much are you putting in here? I know there's no exact measurements in any
I
of
like
this.
to be generous with the olive oil. And what you want to do is when you take your...
Is that EVOO or just...
extra virgin.
Extra virgin, okay.
And then when you take your ladle and you move it in, you just want to be able to see that oil at the bottom. You want to make sure there's enough so that...
A little layer.
Yeah, when you make a center in there, you want to see it come in. So it needs a little bit more. And then that oil is where the flavor stays. So what you can even do after you're done frying these peppers is put a little bit of that oil like in a dish. And then you can dip bread in there. You can put it on your sandwich. You can pour it on top of your pasta.
You can wash your hair in it.
Yeah, well, it might be tough. It might be tough.
I could imagine when you were younger, you probably got beat by that wooden spoon a little bit, huh?
You know, my mom, she was like Bruce Lee with this stuff.
Yeah, I could see that happening
she
there.
was Bruce Lee.
The wooden spoon, everyone was
So look what you did.
It.
You threw one in there.
Uh-oh. How do you know I threw that in there?
Well, it's not me. So, all right. So okay. Now we're ready to put. We're gonna put it on the stove.
Okay. What do you at? Medium high heat? Well, you're
like
putting it on the stove. I'm gonna tear into some of these appetizers
Absolutely.
you brought. You got this bread. I understand you brought it from Federico's.
Fresh Italian bread. I went and got some prosciutto and super salt for you.
And then this is some.
That's some seasoning we get to, for the olive oil. And then it's a good appetizer. And then once the peppers are done, we could put the peppers on the Lebanese bread. I get that Lebanese bread from Youngstown. And then we'll put that bread on there. We'll put the peppers on there with a little bit of prosciutto and some cheese, and that's how you eat the dish. But this is a starter for you.
That's delicious right there.
This is a starter. So let me see here. I'll make sure we got enough.
And I mentioned earlier Cedar One Realty, but you guys have like a whole group going on, right?
We do. It's called the Cedar One Group. And I started by buying rentals when I was 24. I bought my first rental when I was 24. And then from the rentals started a maintenance company, and then started a construction company. So we have Steel Valley Contracting and Go-Go Handyman. Because it was like a natural fit. As we started buying the rentals, I needed a maintenance guy to fix the gutters. I needed a guy to change a window. Next thing you know, like my accountant started calling me, hey, can you send someone to fix my window? Can you send someone to fix my door? Next thing you know, we had a construction company. So it was kind of cool on the evolution of it. And we've been blessed. We have a lot of great people, a lot of great workers, and I mean, it's hard to believe we've been in business for 20 years already.
So you got everything from
we a lot to do with real estate,
barbershops and kitchens
Well,
and
the haircuts,
everything else.
haircuts too.
Yeah.
You know.
So now you're gonna cut up some garlic, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna do the garlic next. So when the peppers, they'll start to fry, and I like to start them on high, and then once you start hearing them sizzle, then we'll turn them down to medium high. Okay.
Do you have to stir it much?
Yeah, we'll stir it. And that's going to be your job, is to stir.
The stirring. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But
Do I need the wooden spoon for that?
You're going to need the spoon for
Okay.
that. Yeah.
We'll
make sure we got enough oil on there.
I'm gonna get some prosciutto before get to the
then we'll get
wooden
that
spoon
going.
before it gets me to work here.
And then we'll take the garlic. And what I like to do with the garlic is I'll just cut the tip of it off here, like that. And then you have the cloves. Mm-hmm. And then I'll use like 7 or 8 cloves. Now,
Keep the vampires away.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell you this coming in, but there's one tradition when we make peppers.
Okay.
So you take this, and when you take a whole clove, you'll cut it in about a quarter, and you cut that in half like that. And then for good luck, you got to eat a piece of garlic raw. So I'll eat it with you.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Now your wife might hide from you tonight, but
Oh yeah.
it keeps you healthy.
It
Good?
does. Yeah, people take garlic pills all the time. I love garlic.
Yeah.
You ever roast garlic?
I love it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So then what we'll do is we'll take this here, and then we'll peel them.
You can use garlic press if you want.
So what I'm going to do is I'll probably peel like 9 bulbs, and then we'll take that garlic press,
Okay.
which I'm glad you had, and then what we'll do is we'll put that into a small bowl.
Okay.
And then when this is getting close to being done, we'll throw the pine nuts in there with the garlic. And that's what finishes the whole dish off. Okay? So we'll get these done. And I'm excited for you to try it, Jeff.
And this is more of like this would be like more of an appetizer?
It's an appetizer. A lot of times we'll make it as an appetizer, or we'll have it as a dish that people like on Sundays if you're eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
You put it on your plate, and then if you want the hot peppers on top of the spaghetti, or for roast beef, you could put the hot peppers on the roast beef. It's like a good side dish,
Okay.
you know?
You do all the cooking in the house, or most of the cooking?
I do probably 90% of it.
Yeah.
But I love cooking for me is therapy. I love to cook. If I have a stressful day, I come home and I cook. Yeah.
I'm the same way.
I don't know.
I enjoy cooking.
I've always liked to cook, and my wife, she likes to clean, so it's a good match. It's a good match,
Yeah.
you know? And she's a good cook, but she just doesn't like to cook as much as I do. So
And you make sauce every Sunday?
we
or?
make spaghetti sauce. I mean, we'll make lasagna. We do pretty much anything. I like to grill out. I love making lamb. I'll make lamb on a spit a lot. Not a lot, but like on holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
But we enjoy it, We enjoy it. It's like a pastime. So a lot of times, like, we'll have Sunday dinner at our house. Dinner might be at 5, but everybody comes over at 2. You don't eat until 5:36.
Yeah, well,
So
you're
it's-
munching on all this other stuff.
It's an event, you
Yeah.
know? It's an event.
And that's great. You keep the tradition. Anymore, like our busy lifestyle. It's just it's sort of an old school kind of old world kind of way. I mean, that's the way everyone.
My mom and dad were like that. We always had big Sunday dinners,
Yeah.
big holiday dinners, and then we kind of kept that tradition going. And there's a lot to be said when you have kids growing up and stuff and families, and everybody's around the table. A lot of memories are made.
Yeah.
And we feel that way, So.
No one's on their phone either, right?
Yeah, not really. They're running around, Like I'm the oldest of 4.
Yeah.
So my mom and dad had 4 kids in 5.5 years. So we're pretty tight still, as far as age group, and all the nieces and nephews are tight. So like when they come down, there might be like 15 kids running around the house. So
Wow.
it's a good time, We have a lot of fun.
Organized chaos.
Organized. That's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
what we call it. Yeah. That's what we call it. So if you want, we can. The garlic's just about ready, and we'll start pressing it.
Okay.
And then we'll just need a small bowl, Jeff, to put the garlic in.
Okay.
And then we can. Now you hear those peppers frying up?
I hear them frying away.
They're looking good.
You want me to give them a little
Yeah, give them
stir?
give them a little stir. There you go.
Wooden spoon.
Okay.
Because the ones on top are still have a
Yep.
little cold, so we want to mix it in, right?
Get them in, and they're going to start to like turn translucent after a little bit, and they'll start to brown,
Okay.
and that's when we know they're getting close.
Hartstone, Ohio Stoneware Factory Outlet offers a large selection of crocks, mixing bowls, bakeware, and more, showcasing the history of local art pottery with thousands of hand-decorated pieces. Hartstone, Ohio Stoneware, the destination for pottery lovers.
Okay, Joe, so 25 minutes, half hours passed. This is what it looks like. Everything's rendered down, right?
Yes, yep. As you can see, the peppers are burning good.
Ooh, look at that color.
The onions are going good. They're getting translucent. You can smell it. Can you smell it?
Oh, yeah.
So what we want to do is we're going to put some pine nuts in there first, okay? Because these don't take that long to brown up.
Just a handful.
Just a handful of pine nuts.
Handful. Exact measurements,
Yep.
folks.
Just
handful.
Yep. You don't measure it too close. Then we'll get the...
Show everyone your hands. We want to see how big your hands are. Okay,
about
just
that
to
many
give
pine
an
nuts.
yeah.
And then we have about 9 cloves of garlic.
Yes.
Okay, so we already crushed. You ate a half a clove yourself.
And then everyone else here almost ate a clove too. So we're just full of luck.
So we're going to put this in here. We're going to let it start to brown up. And then this will be the last step of the dish.
And this is going to take about 5 minutes for everything to brown up,
5
right?
minutes. You're going to start to smell that garlic to start to brown. And you'll really start smelling that in the air. And then we're going to start letting that simmer down.
Okay.
And as soon as that starts to brown, we're about wrapped up. So
Okay.
I mean, we're close. We're close to the end. We're almost in the end zone here.
Okay, so you're talking about the real estate business. You do a lot of commercial. You do residential as
Yes.
well.
Yep.
You do everything. What are some of the how is the housing market now?
Yep. So the housing market is still good. The interest rates I think is the challenge right now because the last 2 years, 3 years, people are locked in at 2.5%, 3%, and now the rates are at 7.5. So a lot of people might want to move. There's still a real inventory shortage, but it's hard to justify getting out of a 2.5 rate going to a 7. So the market's still busy, but the challenge right now is people being able to shift from a 2.5 to a 7% interest rate. So we're hoping the rates come down a little bit by the end of the year, and I think they're starting to trend that way.
When people start looking like at homes, like what's the to me, I always watch like you probably watch these house hunter shows, right? Or you probably yell at them or whatever. But like it amazes me what some people will see and like decide on buying a house. A lot of this stuff can be like fixed.
Yes.
Well, what's one of the big things you should look for?
I think the biggest thing when they're coming to look at houses, kitchens, bathrooms.
Okay.
Functionality.
Yeah.
Is this house functionable? Do we feel like we can move around this house and be comfortable? And then nobody really wants to inherit a project. So I think if the big things are done, the kitchen, the bathroom, roof, windows, furnace, things like that, that helps sell the house a lot more. Painting, carpet, things like that.
Yeah, that can all be.
Right.
You can do that.
So the more updated it is, the quicker it moves.
Yeah.
And the better price it sells for.
It's amazing how different even like fixtures on you could tell when houses were were around based on just looking at the cabinetry or the fixtures, how things go in and out. Like when we bought this house, granite was in. Now what's the big thing now?
Well, people still like the granite, the butcher block, Corian, stuff like that. The farmhouse. We call that like HGTV. Everybody likes that HGTV look, that farmhouse look. The grays, the tans, things like that.
My wife's been wanting a butcher block for the long. We don't have really room for it, but she wants a butcher. So I've been always looking for like a butcher block.
Oh yeah. We've come across some really cool ones in houses, like some older butcher blocks. There were some that were a couple 100 years old that people had them in the kitchens for years, and you could tell like if the walls had ears, it would tell a story.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about there seems to be a big trend now with black, inside, like painting black doors and everything. Have you seen that? Or?
I think a little bit. There's been black. I think sometimes you'll see that, and people are like staining the doors dark and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe outlining it with some like light trim. So we're starting to see that too. But I think a lot of people follow HGTV. Like if you see it on HGTV, then people will start to see that, and then they like that, and you'll start seeing that trend go through. You know? But these are about ready, Jeff, to come off. You want me to pull them off?
Yeah, pull them off. We got our. By the way, this is from Ohio Stoneware, one of our sponsors. You can check them out there in Zanesville. They have a website. Tell them you saw it on Cooking Up a Storm. This is one of their pasta bowls. So it's not pasta, but hey, it's Italian. It works, right?
It works. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off here. We'll get all that good stuff out of the bottom. Can you smell it, Jeff?
I can smell it. I wish everyone at home could smell it because it smells amazing.
So we'll let that stir up. All that olive oil.
I really smell that garlic.
Okay.
It smells delicious.
Well, I'm gonna put this back on the stove.
And this is the one ingredient you have here, which I find a little odd, though. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay, Joe, here it is. Everything's cooled. We're gonna assemble it. It smells delicious. I'm a little,
You like it?
little nervous about the heat. A little nervous.
Okay. Well, I kept the heat around a 7 or an 8 for you, so it wouldn't be too hard.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I told you the name of the show again. It's Cooking Up a Storm. If you need to sign off, you may have to
Cooking
do
Up
that.
a Storm.
Yes.
If I got to finish it out for you.
Yeah, just
Right,
in
yeah.
case.
I got you.
Just in case my mouth's on fire and I need to like put my head underneath the spigot.
Well, how about I'll make your first one
Okay.
for you?
Show it's how it's
So
done.
what we'll do is I'm going to take some bread. This is
Okay.
Lebanese bread, okay?
Where do you get the
this?
Lebanese bread
We
at?
order it from Youngstown. It's called Goussain's
Okay.
Bakery. We've been ordering there for my whole life. So we'll take a little bit of this. We take some super salt, okay, right here.
I'm just trying to think where this meal all came from. Italy, Youngstown,
Well,
Steubenville.
I'm half Lebanese, half Italian.
Yeah, so you got to
it's a
get it
little,
all.
It's a little mix. I'm
yeah.
half Lebanese.
And again, this is why.
So my buddies always like the cheese. I get a Mexican blend cheese. And I put the cheese on it because I think it takes the heat out of it a little bit. Kind of keeps it cool. It's a little bit like it's like ice cream on the hot peppers.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to
So
need that. I
we take
saw you
this
put
here.
a nice healthy dosage of cheese on there.
Then you put it in that napkin.
Looks like a little burrito. It's
That's
Italian burrito
that's
here.
exactly
Italian Lebanese burrito. You're not going to make one for
I'm
yourself?
gonna make one for myself.
Okay.
Absolutely, I am. Yeah.
I think we need to taste these together.
We'll do it together.
Okay, so
super salt here.
Joe, you're with Cedar One Realty, and again, you don't want to forget.
Oh, Steel Valley Contracting
There
and
you
Go
go.
Handyman. So,
There you go.
Yeah, when we started Cedar One, we got into the property business, property
Uh-huh.
management business, and then from there, people started calling because they needed work done to their house. It was a natural kind of flow because we were managing for different owners. So we started Steel Valley Contracting and Go Handyman, and from then, we do residential, commercial, construction work, and maintenance work. So we do probably maintenance for about 50 local companies in town, just little go-go work, go-go handyman work. And then we also do decks, kitchens, bathrooms, remodeling. We have a great crew, local guys, hard workers. I mean, it's a really it's a fun group to be around. They
So if
do
you
a
want to
great job.
remodel your kitchen or your deck or put on a new project, a good place to start.
Steel
right?
Valley Contracting.
There you go.
Yeah, out of Wintersville.
And Steel Valley Contracting taught them how to assemble this, right?
Well, yeah, these peppers might be hot for those guys. Yeah, might be a little hot for those guys.
So what's this again? Tell everyone. They
So
got the
this
Lebanese
is
bread, and what's this again?
Lebanese
the
bread. We got a little bit of super salt.
Super salt.
Super salt. Lunch meat. Okay, we got the hot peppers.
You got the cheese.
We got the cheese. We'll sprinkle it on.
Okay.
And then we roll it up, Jeff.
Roll
That's
it up.
And this is it. This is the finished product.
I'm going to take a bite.
All right, take a bite. I want to see what you think.
Cheers.
Cheers. What do you think? Not
Right?
too hot?
No, not too
Little
bad.
tinge.
I'm
Little tinge.
feeling the heat. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling it's going to get a little stronger. Yeah, I was right about that.
Makes you come back for more.
It does.
It's
yeah.
hot, but not too hot. You know?
Yeah.
But this would be good on pasta. It's good on roast beef.
And you were saying, you see this oil right here.
Mm-hmm.
You actually made pasta and then put some of the oil on.
I'll save some of the oil.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it on my eggs in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Put it on
could
pasta.
put that on a bumper and it's going to taste good.
True. I'm gonna leave you with all the leftovers. How's that?
This crew right here, they're like salivating, so they're going to tear it up. I know that.
Can we feed them?
No,
They gotta
we
get fed,
could feed
right?
the
That's
animals.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
for having me.
Thanks for
Appreciate
bringing
it.
everything. Thanks for coming into the Cooking Up a Storm kitchen. This is a blast.
It's been awesome.
Until next time, we're cooking up a storm.
Thank you.
Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program and Ohio Stoneware.